Aho, Uja, greetings, and welcome to tonight's episode of the KemeTones Self-Care with the Blue Lotus Speaks, and I'm Tchiya Amet. And I'm so grateful that you were able to join me tonight. And if you can, I have some slides and some things from the web I'll be showing. Otherwise, I'll post the replay later and you can check it out. But thank you so much for being here. The topic for tonight will be the comet, the new moon, and healing from intergenerational trauma. And the lines are open, so if anytime you have a question, you should be able to just, on your phone, I think it's *2. And then if you're online, you should be able to just speak out. And if I notice too much feedback or anything, I may mute you all, but it's open, the line's open. All right. So the song that you heard at the beginning is a song called Chalagi Nudo. It's a song for the moon. It's about all the phases of the moon, but I just wanted to start with it tonight. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start with the comet. Okay. So I'm just going to be running through this page right here. This is the web page at tchiya.com about the comet. And I don't know if you're familiar with the events, but I think around September 15th is when this comet 86666 first entered into our visible atmosphere. We can see it. And it's just a really bright light out to the east. And here's some pictures that I've been taking with the moon, the comet. The focus isn't very good, but it was really powerful medicine to be out with the comet and the moon and Venus and the other planets. And this just started me thinking about what is the significance of the comet. So this is the chart from yesterday, which isn't going to be too much different from the chart from tonight, but from my understanding, I've been seeing the comet somewhere around the constellation of Sekhmet or Leo. This morning, the comet was right in the heart of the lion, which was really powerful. And so what was going on for me with the comet was, it appeared around the time that Mercury went retrograde, and it was the equinox, it was the blood red moon. We have the portal of Jehuti open, the portal of Heru is open, with all these things going on with the comet. And I just started looking back at the events of my life during this week. And did a little research. And comets are usually considered to be the sign of something horrible is going to happen, or catastrophe, things like that. And that seems like to be the attitude that was forced on us by the church. Our ancestors didn't really see it that way. It's a time for new ideas, drastic change from the way you do things before, new knowledge, new information, new ideas just come into your head from nowhere. So all of these things were going on at the same time. And I think even Saturn is retrograde right now. But all of this for me, it had to do with allowing wisdom and new ideas to come into my consciousness, things that maybe I had blocked out before. There was an opening. Like even the trip I took to Costa Rica, I don't normally take trips at this time of year, but I just put it out there that if a miracle happened, I would go. And I manifested a miracle, and so I had to go. I went. But anyway, so here at the web page, which is called the Comet. I think it's just Comet. Comet crash. Yeah. Tchiya.com/Comet crash. I've got some links and information on comets. And so this comet, as a matter of fact, on October 10th, it was the closest that it was going to get to the Earth, which is over 15 million miles. And so many people were worried about it that NASA put out a report that it wasn't going to crash. But so many things happened in my personal life, so many journeys and adventures I took on. I felt like that the comet did crash. It crashed into my life and opened up all kinds of things. And so here at the Comet website, I also have posted the Oath of Manifestation for you all, because that's another item that just fell into my life from nowhere. And I want to read this quote from the Oath of Manifestation website. Never forget this. Your silent partner has more ways than there are stars in the universe to bring your desire into manifestation. Your imagination can only bring you a few ways that manifestation of your desire can take place. But when you open to unexpected goodness, you open the floodgates of manifestation. And now a limitless source has your full-on permission. Things that you didn't know you desired will show up unexpectedly. How wonderful is that? And that's by Reverend Cheryl Ward. She's one of the pastors with the Agape Church with Reverend Beckwith. And so the Oath of Manifestation is one of her projects. So some amazing things that happened to me with this comet was I got to go to Costa Rica, and I think I showed this last week, but here's the video of me letting go on the zip line in Costa Rica. I just really let go of fears. You know, I'd had an accident with this type of zip line on a small scale at my home when I was growing up. The wire was loose, and I just ended up dragging across the concrete, and I still have scars from that episode. So when I did that zip lining, it was a really big deal, and I just let go of a lot of fears. So I felt like the comet brought the energy for me to help me assist me releasing doubts and fears, speaking up for myself, saying no, just all kind of things that I've been having trouble with. And so I managed to manifest all these powers and abilities. I learned a lot of new techniques, things that I, before I thought they were crazy, but when I actually tried it, and we're going to do one of them later, it worked. This is a sound technique of toning. So, like I say here, I feel like my connection to the divine presence has been strengthened in a way where I'll never lose this connection again. It's this comet, eclipse, blood red moon, equinox, this whole little window with portal of Jehudi opening, portal of Uranus, Hiru opening, really impacted me. That's why I say the comet crashed into my life. And then I also have this video in the retreat where we shared our intentions, and then we lit these balloons with lanterns, and we released them, and we watched them go up into the sky, and it was so powerful. I still feel that feeling with all the goals and intentions that I set for myself at that time. Okay, so back to the comets. So comets are a time to release your thoughts from slavery and crime and abuse and negativity and Trail of Tears and slavery times. This is a really powerful time because we have all these planets in alignment. So it's a great time to clear and release the trauma and transform the energy into something positive. That's another thing that we can benefit from this comet. And then we have the Chinese view. Traditional Chinese medicine is really an outburst or an outgrowing of traditional African healing and medicine and Kemet medicine. So whenever you're studying traditional Chinese medicine, just know that you're studying traditional African medicine. After the discussion of Western viewpoints, I would like to share some, and this is a quote from astro.com. After the discussion of Western viewpoints, I would like to share some Chinese thoughts regarding the comets. The Chinese call them the broom star, usually associating them with bad luck. But we should remember that brooms are for clearing and sweeping away unnecessary stuff, which we must do to make room. We could say that this is inevitable, that new chances are brought forth through destructive forces. The Chinese called comets Hul Chin. Hul is equivalent to wisdom. Interestingly, in Chinese, we always say, wield the sword of wisdom to cut away the attachment. Wisdom is like a sword, and comets are obviously a symbol of a treasure sword. From images, symbolism of what we observe in life. Is it possible that comets are an implication of the birth of new wisdom? Do they indicate where we should impart our wisdom? Are they a chance for us to cut certain bonds and attachments so that we can let new things come into our life? Well, I certainly think so. And so here we have some of the links that I found that discuss the comet and the impact. A lot of conspiracy theorists were saying that, you know, this was going to impact the Earth and cause so much destruction that the government was going to start the New World Order and put us all in fever camps and turn empty Walmarts into detention camps. Well, none of that happened on a physical level, but if you take a minute to look over all the events that have happened since the comet and all these other things that appeared, there is some sort of shift. So these are just some charts to show the location of the path of the comet, and called an asteroid. And you can check out this webpage later, and then also my other posts I had about the comet. And so does anybody have any questions or comments about the comet before we move on? All this information is online already, and I'll post anything that's not on these pages on the event page. All right. Then the next horoscope information we're going to deal with has to do with the new moon. And the new moon is abundant at Tchiya.com. So on this page, oh, where'd it go? It disappeared. Not happening again. Just a minute here. I've been having all kind of fun with the web today. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, so I have here some of my favorite tools for working with the new moon energy. And synchronistically, the actual moment of the new moon was at 5:05 Pacific time, like right when we began. I forgot to mention that. So that's synchronistic. So here I'm just going to play this new moon meditation music while we're having our lesson. It's not here yet. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. Alright. So the new moon with horoscopes is associated with the goddess Shesheta. Shesheta is the counterpart of Jehuti. Shesheta is given credit for coming up with the hieroglyphs, and then she taught it to Jehuti, her counterpart, and he taught it to the masses. So he's usually given the credit, but of course it was the goddess behind the throne. And here's a page from the Goddess book by my teacher, Dr. Maud Ashley. The goddess Shasheta is the female counterpart of Jehuti and an aspect of Ma'at Aset. She is the goddess of learning, construction, and letters. She is associated with Renenet. Shasheta means the goddess of the seven. Thus she presides over the teachings which relate to the seven realms of creation. In this way, she is related to the seven Hetadus, who are supported by the divine bull of Amet, or Asar. She wears a panther skin garment, symbolizing that she has conquered the lower nature. And she's always seen with writing. She's a scribe, and they say she's the only female goddess that's ever shown actually writing. She's associated with astrology, astronomy, mathematics, sacred geometry. She handles all my bookkeeping and finances. There's a picture of Shasheta with Ra. And then there's a picture of Shasheta with Jehuti. And this is from the page, We Are the Children of Ra. And I actually wrote a song with this verse in the song. So I'll share that with you all very soon. Then next we have the goddess Lakshmi, who is the Hindu goddess of wealth and abundance. And as you can see, just from her right hand, there's just coins just coming out of her hand. She just pours wealth and abundance and blessings right at your feet when you make offerings to Lakshmi. And And so the goddess Lakshmi, one of her chants is String Brazi. And let's see if this one is. This is one of my other teachers, Dr. Baba Pillai. He's the one that taught me about Lakshmi. So, if you just repeat this chant over and over and over again, 108 times or 1,008 times, you will feel your wealth vibration increase. And it's also very useful for doing prayers and meditations to clean out your brain and your mind and to activate your pineal gland. So this is another practice to do all the time, but especially at the new moon. And this is a cute little video because it has like money and dollar bills and just different symbols of abundance and wealth and affluence. Okay. And then another useful technique at the new moon, or when you're dealing with wealth and abundance, is to chant the names of the goddess Lakshmi. It's actually powerful to chant the names of all the goddesses. And I have the goddess chant that I've shared with you before, but today we're just dealing with the new moon. So here's the Hindu chant. And you might be wondering if this is a Kemet, why am I including Hindu? Well, Hindu and India are just younger children of Nubia and Kush, and it's all connected to Kemet. So I don't mix the traditions. I don't do a Kemetic tradition and then break out in a Hindu chant. However, when I'm doing my own work, I connect with the ancestors from many traditions. And so the goddess Lakshmi is one tool that I use for working with my manifestation. So here is my acceptance. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. There you go. So this is the
Are you playing something right now? I can't.
I hear some background, so I'm gonna mute you out. But if you
I see how it happens now. I open
then
I ever
I don't know what it is. And then down here I also have this little audio of from Baba Talai's organization of them doing the same chant. You can have a male version and a female version. And then we opened the show with the Chalagi Nudo Cherokee Moon song. And then some more new moon tools we have is the new moon abundance check. And this is simply where you write out a check to yourself from the abundance of the universe for, whatever amount you may need. Let's say you need, to come up with $15,000 in 3 weeks. So you'd write a check to yourself. You could date it or not date it. And you could put an amount or not put an amount. It's really up to you. But at the new moon, I think it's, 24 hours after the new moon or within the new moon, you can write your abundance checks. And you can use your own check. Like I use old checks from canceled checking accounts. Or here at the abundance check website. Let's see what happens. Abundance check website. I don't know how this is singing. I turned it off. Fun. Okay, well, maybe we'll singing. Okay, so where are the abundance checks? Okay, yeah, so here you can just print out this abundance check. This woman has a whole website about new moon abundance checks. And then you can just write it out. Okay, so that's a really good practice. And then you can just put them away and forget about them, or at the full moon you can burn them, whatever you're called to do. So, it has even steps, and then there's a calendar of the new moon dates. And then also, if you're interested in getting your own hoodoo scope, you could order a hoodoo scope from me here. And then a few more techniques for new moon and abundance. We have Open Your Money Flow, which is an ebook that I have put out with 4 simple techniques for opening your money flow based on your root chakra energy. And we're going to be dealing with that in a few more minutes. So you can download this ebook. And then also here at the new moon page, I have the Oath of Manifestation I was telling you about. And so here it is right here, and then here's the link to the website. Well, there's a typo there, Manifestation. Well, I'll fix that. And then at the bottom, I have all the previous moon posts that I've done, over the past 2 or 3 years. All right. So does anyone have any questions about this wonderful new moon resource? Let's see, did I unmute you? No. Okay. Any questions before we move on?
Okay. The oath of manifestation.
Excuse me?
The Oath of Manifestation, is that a website?
Yes, it's a website that's put out by Reverend Cheryl Ward. And this is the link. I misspelled manifestation. It's a link to the oath, which is a PDF. But she also has a website, and then I'm not sure of the time because of the time zones, but I believe at 7 a.m. Central, they have a 45-minute Oath of Manifestation call, which I have not sat in on yet. But this is one of the things that came to me during this opening, and it just really opened me up. So, yes, it's a website, and they have a daily call.
It's just called oathofmanifestation.com?
.org. Let me see. Let's go to it right now. It is called oathofmanifestation.com. Yes, oathofmanifestation.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And I'll post a link at the event page. If I just did this. Okay. All right, so the horoscope chart, well, we just went over the comet and the qualities of the new moon. I just want to note right here, right now, that the new moon, or Shasheta, is in the sign of Virgo with the Sun and Mercury. So that's the sign of Aspolia. At horoscope, that is the seed, represents the seed. So right now we're planting seeds of good intentions for our health and our family, our tribe, our nation, and the planet. That's what we're working on right now with this call. So we're right in alignment with the order of the day, using our creativity to build a strong character, personality, a vehicle to get across difficult times. And then we're also connecting with Jehuti, which is communications and travel, and just sharing wisdom and gaining knowledge and experience. So that's what time it is with horoscope. And just briefly, I wanted to talk about Saturn. Saturn, or in the horoscopes called Refan, just went into Scorpio, which we call Ip, and will be there till the beginning of December. It's also retrograde right now. And so Saturn, which has to do with boundaries and limitations and restrictions and rules, is in the place of desire, which is Scorpio. So, this is a really valuable time to explore our boundaries and, our desires. Like, this, for me personally, I guess this is another impact of the comet. I decided to honor a vow I made to myself like 30 years ago to take a break from men. I had just been through a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And the next time that I went out, I met a man of my childhood dreams. It was the man I had drawn pictures of in my diary when I was a teenager. So I didn't honor my vow to myself. I just, saw this as my destiny and just went with it. And everything turned out great. However, what would have happened if I had honored that commitment to myself? So here I am now in this time of I'm going to take that vow now. And this happened when Saturn moved into Scorpio and it's retrograde. So all of these things, they're always connected. There's always a reason. It's never coincidence. There's always a reason. I just wanted to mention that Saturn. And then here, be a master of desire. I have this great song, Master of Desire, and I'll post that later. And it's just about instead of letting your desires control you, you master your desires and you use them to serve you. You don't let your emotions rule you, you rule your emotions. Serve on the higher, rule on the lower. Okay. So, the next subject, looks like I skipped something. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is healing from trauma, healing intergenerational trauma with KemeTones and all the techniques that are associated with KemeTones. So it's no accident that today is October 12th, and today is the day that this country has decided to honor one of the biggest pirates, murderers, rapists, all these negative things I don't even want to mention right now. One of the worst human beings. They've turned it into a huge holiday. And now there's a movement to get this recognized as Indigenous Peoples Day, which is, it's a good idea. I would like to see more people talking about solutions. We can go on and on and on about the history of what happened. You know, here's the image of forced relocation, the Trail of Tears. You know, we have our own version. Well, they came to our houses, kicked us out, burned our homes, and then built their own homes. And they say that it was their destiny to come here in this land. There was nothing here but, you know, wild, whatever they referred to us as. So we have two different versions of history. But the most important thing is the solution. You know, one of the big things in healing is letting go of the need to be right, right? So that's what I'm putting out into the universe right now is instead of arguing over the history and the facts, because, you know, we know the truth and we know that they're lying, but they're not going to admit that. So the most important thing is the solution. So with the Trail of Tears, you know, we want to make it to a journey of joy. Instead of looking at individual symptoms, look at the entire picture of what caused the symptoms in the first place. This is an intergenerational issue which has been passed down through the centuries. And we're going to look at some applications of acutonics and KemeTones. Same thing with slavery. Do you remember the days of slavery? Post-traumatic slave disorder, post-slavery stress disorder. We don't really have a choice. It's in our DNA. It's in everything that we do. It's impacting everything that's in our lives. These two events have impacted every person in the United States, but most people don't want to acknowledge it. And like I say, people still have marches and voting and all these things, and that's really, you know, we're not going to change history. Well, what is the solution? Oh, wow. That's right. Shreen Brazil is a possible solution. If I can give him some stop. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, wow. That's a message there, huh? Can't even turn it off.
It sure is a message. It sure is a message. And I'm all for it.
Okay. Okay, maybe stop now. Okay, all right. So back to finding solutions to healing from these traumas that we are all living with every day. Okay, so I would like to propose using healing and sound healing, same thing. Instead of looking at individual symptoms like diabetes and cancer and high blood pressure and stress and you know, all kind of things I don't want to give energy to. Let's just call them all symptoms of post-traumatic slave syndrome, symptoms of the Trail of Tears. So, how am I doing this time? Okay. So with there's different meridians and chakras that have been proven to be connected to symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And so I propose we can use these same meridians with acutonics to heal post-traumatic slave syndrome and transforming the Trail of Tears into a journey of joy. So with acutonics and KemeTones, we will be using the tuning forks for the gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian, which are associated with the fight and flight response and help us see new possibilities. So finding safety soothes the stuck fight response. And also the safety, that will be the root chakra, which is connected to our abundance and our stability and our financial freedom. So it's really connected. with the trauma, when it's stored in our bodies, our chakras, our DNA, our womb, you know, the mind, the fright, the fear, you know, it's still in us because we haven't done anything really to remove it. And we're still bombarded with it. We're still in those times. So rage and terror are always present. You know, what Black Lives Matter, all the stuff that's going on, there's still rage and terror. So that trauma, we can address that in our kidney and bladder meridians. They will calm down the freeze response. You know, like with me, after my rape, I was frozen. I was silent for 30 years. I just was waking up with this trauma every day, and I didn't even know what it caused the trauma. That's why it was so difficult. But when I started doing acutonics on myself, the self-care, started working on these bladder meridians and kidney meridians, you know, slowly to melt. And then the gift of dissociation, the heart meridian and the governor vessel meridian. We're working with our chi energy here to, this work will stop energy from coming through when there's a risk of burning our mind to the ground. We're just like worrying. You know, we can disassociate ourselves, you know, detach from the trauma. So those are the 6 meridians that we would work with, you know, if you come to me for a session or in the self-care training. And you wouldn't have to go to acupuncture school or even be a certified KemeTones practitioner to learn about these 6 meridians. You could look these meridians up anywhere on the internet, and you could start immediately with acupressure, right? And then you get the self-care kit, and you could do the acutonics. Then you come to the KemeTones certification training, and then you could be able to start working on people in your family and your community to heal from these intergenerational and ancestral traumas that we're still carrying with us. Like in our womb alone, we carry the energy of all the men that have been inside of us, and we carry all the energy of our mother's wombs and our grandmother's wombs, our great-grandmother's wombs. All that energy gets passed down to us, and so we're the generation that's going to heal the wounds of our bloodline and pass on purified wounds to the future generations, because we're going to start doing this work. So healing is built on education and hope. Post-traumatic slave disorder creates a massive disorganization in a person and in a nation of people. Like all Native Americans, all indigenous people, all African from the diaspora, we're all living with this without dealing with it energetically. You know, reparations is awesome, but if we go back, we're still going to have all this energy with us, and we haven't done anything with it. So we need to purify ourselves before we make a journey home. Naming a person's symptoms as disorganization and affirming their body's capacity to restore order, to restore ma'at, creates a foundation they can build healing on. The increased order, balance, and coherency that KemeTones brings transforms trauma symptoms. And I want to acknowledge the organization Crossing Healing Works that came up with this system, because they were working with post-traumatic stress disorder survivors from the military. And they found they were able to heal so many people just using acupuncture, with emphasis on this protocol that I'm sharing with you now. And then here's a chart for the group ear acupuncture, you know, doing the points on the ear. You can do this with tuning forks. Sympathetic for balancing the autonomic nervous system. Shen Men for settling and bringing comfort to the heart and mind. Kidney to warm a freeze response and help people find a sense of safety in themselves. The liver to soften anger, help the eyes see new possibilities, to unwind the fight response. And the hippocampus to ease the mind's grip on traumatic memory, to bring relief to overcharged sensitive memories that manifest as nightmares and flashbacks, complete with odors and images. So imagine if you start doing this process on yourself, and then you start doing it on people in your family and then your community, and then we go out into the world and start teaching people these techniques, then, wow, that would be pretty awesome, I think. So here I have a picture of the Indigenous Grandmothers Council. You know, the grandmothers from the four corners, the four directions have united, and they're doing so much with their prayer work, you know, and also here you have again the 13 Indigenous Grandmothers Council from the four directions. You know, if we could take this healing technique and just, you know, spread it around, you know, we could do a lot. I feel we could do a lot. And then Black Jaguar medicine is seeing the gift in the adversity. So rather than blaming others and, you know, trying to get names of holidays changed and picking up a holiday and putting it in between two slave masters' holidays, and you're really still honoring the slave mentality, instead of all these things, we could look for the gift in the adversity, because this happened to us for a reason. And what is the gift in the adversity? So we really take some time to see what that is and go from there, because we can't go back. So there has to be a gift somewhere. So that's my challenge. That's my challenge to you every day. What is the gift in what happened? What is the gift in what's happening now? Because that's where we'll find the solution. Okay, so some of the other techniques I want to share with you is chanting. So right now I have on, this hat belonged to my dad, my father, so I'm honoring my ancestors. And I'm sitting here in the Asamataji Cosmic Sound Healing Temple. I have this incredible mural of the scene from Comet looking out onto the pyramids, and, you know, it's just my healing space. So I'm going to sing a Chalagi Thanksgiving song. I've got my drum I got from Taos a few years ago. Dali Adawahi, Dali Aniwa, O Sudasunani, O Sudasunani, away, hey, hey, ya, away, hey, yo, hey, 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 ya, away, hey, yo. sing the English translation, but that's a song asking the wise protectors to continue to guide us and giving thanks for their presence. Giving thanks for the sky, the air in the sky, the sun in the sky. The sky is our grandfather, the sun's the grandmother, the earth is our sweet mother, and we give thanks and we love each other and we're grateful. And that's the translation of that song. And that song's on my first CD, Rise Again Truth, and you know, it's all over the web right now. So being grateful for everything, like Bob Marley says, no matter what the crisis is, finding a way to be grateful, there is a gift, even though it might still hurt a little bit. All right, another technique I wanted to share is toning. Now, this is a technique, like I was mentioning before, it's one I never thought I would try, especially not in public, but I tried it in public recently because I was in pain and it worked. So let me put the little camera back on. It's called toning. So the idea, and I learned this technique from Vicki Dobbs when I was at the Global Sound Healing Conference a few weeks ago. And I thought it was just something that, you know, people made up or whatever, I don't know, until I was really sick and I had to try it. I was in Costa Rica, and it was my second day there, and I was really sick, like traveler sick. I had nausea, I was puking, I had diarrhea, which is, you know, not my normal state. I've traveled lots of places, and I haven't had that kind of issue. And so I found myself missing out on a few events, and I was at a restaurant. Everybody was at this table. It was somebody's birthday, and I was laying down on a sofa outside the restaurant. And I was like, I don't want to throw up, but I can't get up. I said, oh, but I need to do something. And so I just started toning. So now when I'm toning, I'm not just toning for myself. I'm toning for my ancestors. I'm toning for all the people that have been affected by slavery and the Trail of Tears, and all the things that are still going on today that are still trying to eliminate melanated people. Even people that say that they're not like that. People that say they have, you know, I have a black friend, and I'm not, you know, that wasn't me. That was a long time ago. It has nothing to do with me. Even those type of people, even like white supremacists. So the idea is I'm going to allow my body to make the sound of that trauma that's still in my body. I don't know what it's going to sound like. I'm not trying to sound like anything, no rhythm, no patterns. It's just the sound. And when I was sick, laying down outside at the restaurant, I just said, okay, well, what is the toxic inside of me? What sound is my body making because of this toxin? And that when it makes that sound, it's going to release the energy that's causing the block. So when I make the sound, it's going to release the energy of the trauma that's still in my body from my native heritage and my Kemetic or African heritage. That trauma is still in my body. The trauma from my assault from 30 years ago, some of it is still in my body. You have to keep working on it. The trauma from what happened like a few months ago is still there. Okay, so, okay, here we go. Some water. It's just they need no new, but you're letting your body like express itself. Okay, that's enough for now. So that is the kind of thing that I did in the restaurant in Costa Rica. And as soon as I did it, I got up, I went to the table, and I had smoothie, and I ordered something to eat, and I was there with them for a little while, and then, I went and laid down again. But the thing is, it worked. And that sound that I just made, that was really weird, and I hope it didn't freak you out, but actually feels really good. So toning is another thing we can do for ourselves and our family, our ancestors, everyone that's still caught up in this ball of confusion. We can tone and release that block. I just realized I didn't demonstrate the tuning forks, but I'll do some more of that last time. I just showed you the chart. Okay, another technique that's really good is the spiral dance of Sirius rising. Now I have this video here. It's really awesome music that I found online. And it's got too many videos open, something. Okay, I'll close some of the windows. Oh, no, it's not going for that right now. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Internet. Let's see if I can find the song someplace, and I'll just demonstrate it. Live. I guess that's the idea. You want it live. Okay. Where are you? Music. There it is. Okay. I'll put on the camera. Turn it around a little bit. So this show is going to go over past 6. I hope you can stick around. There's a lot to share. And if not, I'll still have the replay. Okay, so this is an energy song for Sirius, which is my favorite star. She's associated with the goddess Amet. And the idea is everything is a spiral. We talked about the spiral energy diagram. So we're just working with the energy. We're doing our spirals with our hands, with our shoulders, our neck, our womb. Everything is moving in a spiral. And now we're more aware of the direction of the energy flow. And let's see. I'm ready for the music. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. The intro looks nice. Here we go. Okay, yes. Beautiful music. Okay. Yeah. So if you're on the camera, on the phone, you can't see me, but you get the idea. You're just moving your hands in spiral, all directions. From your womb, you're just cleaning your womb. And the more you rotate, the more you twist, the more energy you build up. So it's just really fun. I don't think it's in sync too good with the camera, so we'll get it. So right now we're going clockwise, counterclockwise. We're opening things up to let go of the block, right? And then we go clockwise. We're filling in. We're bringing the energy in. We're manifesting. We're creating. The movements of your hands, your hips, your head, and your arms. So you get the idea. So this is what I do. I try to do this every day. 20 minutes with piece of music. And, that's one of my favorite techniques for releasing energy. And I'll post that video as well. And forgiveness. Okay, so we've talked about Ho'oponopono before, so we'll just try a little bit right now. I remember one time I was in Taos, New Mexico, and there was some other black natives there, this other family of black natives, And, you know, they had a problem with me because they were like, well, Cherokees had slaves too, you know. And when they said that to me, I was like, oh, it hurt so bad. It was like a heart in my, you know, a dagger in my heart. Because I was aware of that, you know, but I never had somebody accuse me of having slaves, you know. It's like, whoa, because I know for a fact that my Cherokee ancestor was owned by some of his relatives, and he was always escaping. So I was related to that Spurlock, okay? So anyway, so with Ho'oponopono, you know, it's a practice of forgiveness, and you do two rounds, one for yourself, forgiving someone, and then the other round you imagine them forgiving you. And it's not about blame or you know, letting them get away with murder. It's not funny, but to me, you know, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. So so I'm going to do this I'm going to do some Ho'oponopono. And Ho'oponopono is an ancient Indigenous Hawaiian technique. It's not invented by that guy who made millions by selling books and videos. And at the moment, I cannot remember the matriarch's name who's been entrusted with the lineage, but it's posted. Okay, so I'm going to do a round with myself and Christopher Columbus. Okay, so I'm going to start with myself. So, Christopher Columbus, you know, I am really sorry. I apologize how badly I speak about you. I mean, there's got to be something good about you. So I apologize for always talking about you and blaming you for everything that's going wrong right now. Yeah. And please forgive me for hating you so much. Yeah, that's about all I could. Let's see, what else can I say? Please forgive me for not doing more to stop you when you decided to get on the boat. You know, because I'm pretty sure I was there, and I could have set up a trap so that you wouldn't be able to get on that boat, because that would have saved us all a lot. Thank you for what is the gift? Thank you for doing your job to bring Black and Native and Indigenous people from the four corners of the earth together so we can find a way to unite. Because if you hadn't have gone around and enslaved us and stolen our culture and our heritage and language and caused so much mixing of the races, we may not have ever. That's what they say about the people of the North, by the way. That's a good thing you can say. And because you're a human being and there is a light inside of you and your spirit and energy, you know, I have to find a way to have love for you. I don't love the things that you've done, and I don't love the way that people follow you and worship you, but as a human to human, I have to find a way to have love for you. Okay, so that was actually kind of funny, you know. It feels a little better in my stomach, because now I'm going to do it the other way around. Christopher Columbus apologizing to me. Okay, well, Tchiya, I'm speaking Italian, so I don't know if you understand me, but I want to take this opportunity to tell you how sorry I am for what I've done, what my works have done to you and your land and your lineage, your bloodline, your culture, the planet. At the time, I was so ignorant, I had no idea that my greed would lead to destruction that lasted so long. So I'm really sorry. Please forgive me for being a trigger and source of pain for you every year when more ignorant people insist on honoring my legacy of death and destruction. Thank you, Tchiya, for still speaking out against these things, even though it's not popular. It's necessary for people to speak out against all this type of violence. And Tchiya, even though you don't believe it, you know, I love you. I love the work that you're doing and all the people that are standing up for justice and truth. Here. So that's my Ho'oponopono for Christopher Columbus. And, you know, the idea is that more that we let go of these resentments and knots and questions and, like, no solutions, the more we let go of those knots, then it opens up the flow of energy for us and for the planet. So, you know, it's useful to write it out. You know, you can write it out and then burn it, lots of different things. But I'll be honest with you, since I did that toning and this little Ho'oponopono, I definitely feel lighter, you know. So my idea is if we took these holidays, you know, like the United States, all of their holidays is about war. It's about some war or remembering somebody that died in the war. And it's all about war that they, you know, the other side of the war was us. I mean, it's like, why are we going to celebrate that? So if we could, you know, change the energy, not of their holidays, but of what we do. You know, everything, there's a gift in everything, and there's a healing. What do my friends say? In every solution, there's another problem waiting to be solved. So we just keep getting to the root of these illnesses and just keep healing until we've gotten to the root. So that's, you know, what I'd like to say. And so that takes me to the last one, just clear it. My teacher, Tara Maxwell, who I'm really shouting out a lot lately, she's from another tradition and culture, but energy work is energy work. And if we're using it for good, it'll work. So we've been learning all these techniques for clearing. And so, you know, we can do acutonics, and I'm not sure about the time, but I'll demonstrate if we have time. You can do acutonics and these other techniques, but then, you know, you got to make sure you clear it. You got to get to the root. So after you do the work, after you do those things, you just ask yourself, is that cleared now? So I'm going to say to myself, did I, you know, have I cleared my, what am I going to call this? This indigenous people's block? Have I turned my trail of tears into a journey of joy? And then you do the muscle testing. We did that last time, muscle testing. So have I cleared the block of my, you know, root trauma? Okay, it's saying yes. Okay, so is my root trauma from Trail of Tears cleared for today? How about post-traumatic slave syndrome? For today, it's cleared. So that means that I cleared it. And so then I'm just going to make sure. So we have this technique where you just clear the blocks, you know, just clear the blocks. And then you brush it away from your pineal gland. And you just, you know, tap it in your sternum to make sure that it's there. And you just flick away the negativity. And then you say, okay, have I gotten to the root? Is it clear? Yes. Okay, so I had already cleared it. But so now I'm going to do that for my tribe, my nation. I was told that we shouldn't call ourselves tribe, that the Europeans changed our status from nation to tribe because the tribe doesn't have, like, power or land or organization. So I'm doing this for my nation right now. So has the work I've done today helped clear the energy of the Trail of Tears and post-traumatic slave syndrome? No. Okay, so I haven't gotten to the root. So there's like a whole technique. Is it intergenerational? Is it maternal? Is it, you know, energetic? There's a whole lot of different things we could work on clearing, and that's what the rest of this class is about, is all these different ways to clear the energy. So let's see. Okay, so I'll just do some more clearing. So I want to clear all the blocks on my maternal lineage. Okay, and I want to clear the blocks on my paternal lineage. And I'm going to clear the blocks for my nation. Right, I got into the root. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole process. I'm just going to do some acutonics right now. But the idea is, you know, we do the energy work, the raking, the chanting, the singing, the dancing, all of it is we do it for ourselves and we do it for our nation. So some of the references that we'll be using in the coming weeks, we've got the I've got the Acutonics Level 1 manual with all the handy-dandy meridian charts. And I am, can you see that? The lighting. I am going to be putting together, there we go, self-care manual really soon. And then also I have the Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome Handbook by Dr. Joy DeBruy. So, okay, I won't keep you for too much longer. All right, so here we have the heart meridian chart. So I'm going to do some clearing in the heart meridian. And some of these are kind of, you know, challenging to do when you're working on yourself, but you just do it anyway. All right, so this one starts at the, it goes from the heart, the middle of the armpit, to the back of the little finger, to the base of the little finger. Okay. Kind of hard to do some of the planks, but you know, you just do what you do your best. Oh, very kind of difficult. So right now, I'm clearing out blocks in my heart meridian, and I'm doing this for myself and the planet. And, you know, just go all the way up the meridian. And, let's see, what was the other one? The kidney. Oh, yeah, kidney. Kidney and liver. So you just look up, you know, the chart. Lung, that's another good one to do for grief. Let's do kidney and liver. Okay, here's the liver. Okay, I won't be able to show you this one because this one's on the legs and feet. But yeah, you just move the chakra, the tuning forks up along the meridian. Remember to do both sides, left and right, male and female. And just hold the intention that you're doing this for yourself, your family, your nation, and the entire planet. And it just takes a few minutes a day. I mean, whenever I have a health issue or I hurt myself, I'm like, I could have been doing acutonics. I could have been doing KemeTones. And just, you know, that's really silly when you don't. Okay, yeah. And then it goes up too. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So those are some of the techniques for using KemeTones and other techniques for healing ourselves and the planet, especially when we're healing from intergenerational and ancestral energy blocks from slavery days and the Trail of Tears. So, yeah, let's just clear it. That's what we got to do. We just got to clear it. And we can, because we have the tools. So why are so many of us still living at the poverty levels when we were once so very wealthy? In fact, at one time when we were slaves, we were considered to be valuable currency. We were worth our weight in gold, considered to be of more value than land or real estate. We were the currency. And now, look at what's going on. Well, as I mentioned before, all of that trauma is stored in our root chakras. All of that trauma is stored in our wombs. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. It's in the air. It's in the food we're eating. It's everywhere. It's from our past lives. It's from the lives of our ancestors. And just our past. Our past lives, and the lives of our ancestors. And then we're going to pass all of this on to our future generations. When we release and let go of these blocks in our root chakra and in our womb chakra, we'll open up our money flow. It's as simple as that. So we have exercises that we'll be working on to open up our root chakra, because we want to open up our money flow, and not just for ourselves, but for our nation, for our people. So I have this ebook called Open Your Money Flow, The Secret to Money Flow, where you learn how to flip your money switch. And it's just 4 simple techniques. They're nothing new, and I haven't mastered them. They're techniques that have helped me tremendously on my journey of healing back from living with, trauma from a sexual assault from over 30 years ago. And I found that my money was just not working at all, and I hadn't been facing my trauma. Once I started to face my trauma, then it opened up my money flow. And then when my money flow slows down or dries out, it's because I haven't been working on my trauma, on my healing. So then I go back to my toolkit and I start working on my healing and my trauma, and then the money flow opens again. So I think if we all work on that individually, we can transform our nation with just one little switch. So you can download the ebook and open your money switch, and you can sign up for a free strategy session where we can talk about your trauma and your money flow and things specifically to help your situation. And these are free 30-minute strategy sessions, or you could sign up with some of my coaching programs and classes and all that good stuff. And we have this free webinar. And then also in January, we'll have the KemeTones certification level class in Jamaica. So the idea is we heal ourselves, we heal our families. So let's heal ourselves, let's heal our families, let's heal our communities, let's heal our nation, let's heal the world. And so my question for you is, what can you do with this new moon in Virgo energy during the comet, with Uranus and Saturn still retrograde? We want to heal from the atrocities of our past. Many people in our lives, in our environment, want us to just let go of it and get on with it. One of my friends said, "Why can't you all just get jobs? As if nothing happened." That's not the way. But just really always talking about what happened and how bad it was and what this person did and what that person didn't do, that's not the way either. We've got to focus on the solution. We already know the story. It just keeps getting repeated and repeated every generation after every generation, every indigenous nation after every indigenous nation. We've all been through this. It doesn't matter who was first or which instance lost the most people, or which was the bloodiest. That doesn't matter anymore. We have to find a way to come together and heal. So that's the horoscopes and healing session for today. We're honoring Dua Rosh Hashanah Asfolia. The sun and the moon are in Virgo. It's time to plant a seed. The portal of Refan is open in the house of Ip. So it's an opportunity to deal with mastering our desires and putting up boundaries to protect ourselves and to keep out unwanted energies. The portal of Haru, Pico Sahi is open. That's Uranus is retrograde until December 26th. So it's a time to take revolutionary actions and unite. And yeah, here's the announcement about the class in Jamaica. So like once you learn how to heal yourself, then you get a self-care kit and you start working on yourself. And you can work on some family members, and then you want to take the KemeTones training so that you can learn to be a healer with the KemeTones technique. And so I invite you to sign up for the webinar. The free class info webinar is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. And that's what I have for you today. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end. For those of you who will be joining me on the replay, there's a lot of information here, and if you have any questions, because you can't make the live webinar, you can always catch me at the event page or cosmic@tchiya.com. There's lots of ways to find me. And last announcement is because of a special Aset meditation class with my teacher, Sebama Dr. Maude Ashby. That class is every other Monday. So rather than trying to change this date or miss his class or whatever, this class is going to alternate every other Monday with his classes is every other Monday until sometime in January. Probably the same time the KemeTones retreat is over. So I'll be back here on October 26th, same place at the same time, 5 p.m., and I'll be sharing information with you over the next 2 weeks. And thank you. Do you have any questions right now before we go? I'm open for questions. Do you have any questions or comments?
You said, I'm sorry, I was trying to write down some notes. I'm like writing. So Saturn is in retrograde, correct?
Yep, Saturn is retrograde. I think it lasts for like another year. I'll have to get the exact date. It lasts a long time.
Okay.
But it's in Scorpio until this December 2nd. And then it'll move to another sign.
Until you said December 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post in the event page the Saturn transit for you. So you can, if you want to keep up with it.
Yeah.
The website that I use to find the planets, not the astrology ephemeris. Ephemeris is the book or chart that tells you which constellation each planet and the sun is in. And so I use the ephemeris from NASA because that's the one that deals with where they actually are in the sky. So I'll send you the link for that. It's kind of complicated to use it at first, but we can work on that together next time too. I'll make a note of that. And if I ever forget to post something or I don't post it fast enough, just remind me because I make a list of things, but sometimes I don't get back to it.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any more questions or comments? Okay. Well, I want to thank you again for joining me, and just have a wonderful healing evening with all these good vibrations that we've generated. And I will talk to you soon. Much love. Peace. Peace. Peace.